So now we'll move to Greenland. Operation Golden Dome. You guys can see here on Congress.gov, the Golden Dome of America, which you guys have already heard. And, you know, like every good Psyop, they preface things. You remember a couple months ago, Trump was talking about the Golden Dome and how it's going to be the future of the protection and all that. But what do you think it was all the preface for? We need to make sure we have critical land. Now, they didn't tell you specifically Greenland, but that's crucial. At least that's the...
we all knew.
Right. Well, of course we did. Of course. Talking about Canada. It's like, we got to make Canada the 51st state. See, then it was Canada.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
But it was already pushing the narrative of getting you used to the idea. We're moving north.
It was already pushing the envelope. And it's like one of those things that don't have to be said. Like when you go into the urinals, you don't have to... Nobody has to say, don't talk to me while I'm peeing in this urinal. You just go in there and there's this policy. It's an unspoken policy. We all knew, okay?
Of course. Of course. But the Greenland thing is more of a gray psyop. It's all about fear. It's like an ambiguous source. Like we don't really know, but it's there. So
we knew.
Like remember Operation Northwood. You know, back in the 60s, generals wanted to create this fake false flag, like American military attack.
So they put a rubber flag up.
No, not that. They actually wanted to do real attacks on America, blame it on Cuba so that they could go attack and take over Cuba. But
it's all ghost attacks.
Well, yeah, but it's just false flags because those are real.
Yeah, it's ghost flags.
Like you can make the argument, was 9/11 a false flag? Neither here nor there. But they don't need to fake an attack in 2026. They can just curate the fear of one. And that's what Greenland has always been about. The fear of an attack. So what do you hear? Beware of these Chinese hypersonic missiles. They're undetectable. The Arctic Circle is undefended and Russia can take over. So they use this wedge tactic. If you oppose buying Greenland, you're not anti-imperialist. You're weak on defense.
Well, we've all seen what China can do. You know, what's interesting is I thought this was real, but then I looked it up. And it seems to be a fake. Has China developed a Mach 7 plasma cannon railgun? I know America has one. Yeah, but China apparently doesn't have one. It says visual clues suggest that the video is almost certainly AI generated. And it points out the people showing the cannon move erratically, with one even teleporting. A cube, part of the structure, inexplicably jumps at the same time as the teleportation. So they give this list. You guys can pause it. And then when you watch the video again, it's rather fascinating. See, the guy walking over here, he just immediately appears right here. And he's like frozen. And there's another guy over here.
Who's even close to this thing?
Yeah, I know. That's another thing. And not only that, you can tell in the center of this plasma cannon, it's black to begin with. And all of a sudden, it's just, now you can see through it. It's almost like a picture. And then now all of a sudden you can see through it still. So it's, when you play it, it looks like just a photo moving to another photo.
Yeah, but that shows you psyops aren't limited to America. We're just focusing on our homeland. But yeah, of course, these psyops are going everywhere because the fight is we're superior. They're not. You want to be on our side. So of course, if you're Chinese, you want to show your Chinese people we're better than America. They're always using the wedge tactic.
Yep. That's a red flag for me.
But they've anchored this mass real estate expansion into a survival technique and the survival instinct, which we'll show a video here.
Trump has openly said that the next target is Greenland. Greenland belongs to Denmark, an EU country, and Donald Trump has been eyeing it since 2019. Back then, people laughed. After Venezuela, no one is laughing anymore. In 2025, Trump appointed a special envoy and said clearly, "I will get Greenland, one way or another." He argued that Russian and Chinese ships are everywhere, and Greenland is critical for U.S. security. Even force is an option. So why does Trump want Greenland? First, rare earth minerals. worth over $1.1 trillion, key to breaking China's monopoly. Second, Arctic trade routes, opening as ice melts, shortening Europe-Asia shipping, and boosting naval movement. Third, Thule Air Base, a vital U.S. base tracking Russian missiles and Chinese submarines. After Venezuela, Europe fears one thing: global double standards are now exposed. When Russia attacks, sanctions. When the U.S. acts, silence. Europe depends on America for security. So this isn't just Denmark's problem. Europe is...
So if you say, I don't want to buy this island, or I don't want to take over Greenland, it looks like you just want to get nuked. So it's the perfect wedge tactic. It's not about imperialism. It's not about taking over. That's not the narrative they want you to believe. It's all about, you got to be strong on defense. If you don't want to take Greenland as an American, you're weak on defense and you're supporting Russia. You're supporting China. So you need to believe in this. And if you don't, you're anti-American.
Yeah, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot, because if you try to be pro-American, you know, like if you just put a red American flag up in your yard, automatically you seem like some kind of MAGA conspiracy theorist person, like this weirdo, tinfoil hat. You believe everything is false. That's the kind of person they've painted as an American. So nobody's going to stand up and say, "Yeah, I'm American. I'm the real American." That maybe people will side with Russia. So maybe America wants people to side with Russia and Nordstrom.
Yeah, you're right, in the beginning stages. But they need to put out the front. The wedge tactic has to be, you put out the option and let people decide what they want so that everything's happening organically. And then you produce a false flag. You put out this, see, I told you. And now everybody's like, oh, I guess I was wrong. And it forces you now to say, I guess we do need Greenland. And all they got to do is just put out anything. I mean, look at the Nord Stream pipelines, anything. They can do anything and say, see, Russia did that. Now look what they're going to do if we don't take it over. So first they push out the options. Be free, Americans. Do whatever you want. Think whatever you want. Then the false flag. Now you're forced to choose a side, and you can't be anti-American. It's perfect.
My wife shops at the Nord Stream rack all the time, and we noticed a price fluctuation when the Nord Stream or Nordstrom got blown up. We noticed, and I had this sickening feeling too. Because if you cut me, I bleed blue, but I also bleed red.
That's good. So maybe you need to bleed purple.
Depends which side of the line I'm standing on.